this lecture, I will explain to you the Properties tab and Camtasia Behaviors. Every single lecture of this course is meant to be useful and teach you something new. I cannot move forward unless we explain behaviors to ourselves. Please go to Annotations, open the third tab and select any shape and put it on the screen. Beautiful. I'll make it bigger and I'll put it in the middle of the screen. No problem. On the right side, we have something called Properties. We can hide and enable it back again if it gets in our way. Inside of this tab, we have essentially all the properties that can be changed for this little shape. We can, for example, change the scale, and I will not go over everything because it's a matter of really clicking around yourself. You can, of course, rotate, change the opacity, and so on. Then there is the next tab. The next tab is how the shape looks. You can change the color, you can change the opacity of the color, and you can change the outline if you prefer this to have an outline. One important information: different objects may have different tabs here. For example, a text object has text options here instead of shape options or those annotation options. But what about behaviors? And why am I talking about the properties? Because behaviors are essentially animations applied to objects on our screen. Sounds complicated, but bear with me. Let's select maybe pop-up. Okay, you should have those behaviors available. I'll drag and drop it directly onto the shape or here on the bottom on the timeline. You can do it that way as well. You can notice that on the Properties tab, a new tab has appeared. Something called Behaviors, and we have an in animation, during animation, and out animation. Let us preview that by pressing space. In animation, during animation, and out animation. Okay, the out is really short. What options do we have available here? We can change the in animation, we can change the tension. This is essentially the speed of the animation. We can actually change the animation to any order we want. So initially you drag and drop one, but you can change them anyway. I will select grow just to have something different here. And what happens with the grow? We have a nice, beautiful grow, and it goes back to being smaller. This is because the movement is selected to spring. You can change the movement to have a smooth movement or ease in, ease out. Ease in means that it starts slower and then is a little quicker. Ease out is that it starts quicker, but then slows down a bit. And those are more and more extreme versions of that. Let me go for a simple ease out and let's preview what happens. Okay, we have this growing and then we have the during animation where it really flies around. I don't like that. So I'll go to the during animation, style instead of pop-up, select none. You can of course preview all the animations that are here by just selecting one and pressing space, but I will select none. I don't want this jumping around. Let me preview that. We have the growing, and at the end it's falling onto the screen. Okay, I don't like the falling either, so I will select the out animation, the outgoing animation, the ending animation of this object, and I will change it to maybe something simple like fade out. For the fade out as well, we can change the movement to smooth or linear, and we can reduce and increase the speed. Reducing the speed will make this animation take a little longer. So in the end, we have now something like that. We have a very simple grow animation, then nothing happens, and then a very slow fade out. And this is exactly how you apply animations to Camtasia. Or if we keep the nomenclature that Camtasia implies on us, we will add behaviors, because animations were in older versions already present here. So maybe TechSmith didn't want to change animations to have a different name, so they just added behaviors on top of it. This is my take on it. This is how behaviors work, and this is the Properties tab that allows us to change everything here on the side.